And just in terms of how Castle Vale was a national pioneer, back in the late 1980s, early 1990s, the government, one of the government of the time's key regeneration programs was called Housing Action Trusts. There were only ever 6 of them created in the country. 3 of them were in London, 1 was in Liverpool, 1 was in Hull, and 1 was here, Castle Vale. So Castle Vale was chosen to be one of the 6 housing action trusts in the country. You see where the Centre Park nowadays were the 8 biggest tower blocks. They were called the Centre 8. There wasn't a lot of initiative in terms of the way the area was designed, because presumably you will have picked up from previous discussions that Castle Vale, these houses, the houses you live in, were built on the site of a former airfield. And if you actually look carefully, you can see runways 1, 2 and 3 on there. But what you ended up with was a high-rise estate. So there were 34 tower blocks. 34 tower blocks on Castle Vale, only 2 now. First of all, with the houses, because many of the houses, much of the high-rise housing had been built with new methods of construction which didn't really stand the test of time. So a lot of the housing was in quite poor condition. The Spitfire creation, as you come in, the Spitfire roundabout, that was actually created by the man Tim Tolkien. When we redeveloped the shopping centre, Comet came to Castle Vale, but they called it Comet Erdington. And Erdington, you know, how far is Erdington from here? It's quite a way. The reason they called it Comet Erdington was because they thought people wouldn't go to it if it was called Comet Castle Vale. Now, part of the reason we chose Sainsbury's to be our major partner in terms of the shopping centre was because they were prepared to call it Castle Vale Retail Park.